spinach is more than a superfood. It could one day act a little like a superhero by preventing disaster and saving lives. Engineers have embedded spinach leaves with carbon nanotubes to transform them into sensors that can detect explosives. The plants then wirelessly relay that information to a handheld device similar to a smartphone, which could theoretically one day be used by professionals to safely detect and destroy explosive devices such as landmines. This is one of the first demonstrations of engineering electronic systems into plants, an approach that the researchers dubbed plant nanobionics. Researchers at MIT designed the plants to detect chemical compounds known as nitroaromatics, which are often used in landmines and other explosives. When one of these chemicals is present in the groundwater sampled naturally by the plant, carbon nanotubes embedded in the plant leaves emit a fluorescent signal that can be read with an infrared camera. The camera can be attached to a small computer similar to a smartphone, which then sends an email to the user. Michael Strano, the carbon PDUBS professor of chemical engineering at MIT and the leader of the research team, said, "This is a novel demonstration of how we have overcome the plant-human communication barrier." He believes plant power could also be harnessed to warn of pollutants and environmental conditions such as drought. 2 years ago, in the first demonstration of plant nanobionics, Professor Strano and former MIT postdoc Juan Pablo Giraldo used nanoparticles to enhance plants' photosynthesis ability and to turn them into sensors for nitric oxide, a pollutant produced by combustion. Plants are ideally suited for monitoring the environment because they already take in a lot of information from their surroundings. Professor Strano explained, "Plants are very good analytical chemists," he said. "They have an extensive root network in the soil, are constantly sampling groundwater, and have a way to self-power the transport of that water up into the leaves." His lab has previously developed carbon nanotubes that can be used as sensors to detect a wide range of molecules, including hydrogen peroxide, the explosive TNT, and the nerve gas sarin. When the target molecule binds to a polymer wrapped around the nanotube, it alters the tube's fluorescence. In the new study, published in the journal Nature Materials, the researchers embedded sensors for nitroaromatic compounds into the leaves of spinach plants, using a technique called vascular infusion, which involves applying a solution of nanoparticles to the underside of the leaf. They place the sensors into a leaf layer known as the mesophyll, which is where most photosynthesis takes place. They also embedded carbon nanotubes that emit a constant fluorescent signal to serve as a reference and allow them to compare the two fluorescent signals and make it easier to determine whether the explosive sensor has detected anything if there are any explosive molecules in the groundwater. It takes about 10 minutes for the plant to draw them up into the leaves, where they encounter the detector. To read the signal, the researchers must shine a laser onto the leaf, prompting the nanotubes in the leaf to emit near-infrared fluorescent light. This can be detected with a small infrared camera connected to a Raspberry Pi, an inexpensive credit card-sized computer similar to the computer inside a smartphone. Professor Strano said, "This setup could be replaced by a cell phone and the right kind of camera. It's just the infrared filter that would stop you from using your cell phone." Using this setup, the researchers could pick up a signal from about 3 feet away from the plant and are now working on increasing that distance. The refresher said other plants could also be modified to detect specific chemicals. Sensors could help botanists learn more about the inner workings of plants, monitor plant health, and maximize the yield of rare compounds synthesized by plants such as the Madagascar periwinkle, which produces drugs used to treat cancer, they said. Minhao Wang, the paper's lead author and an MIT graduate student who has started a company called Plantia to further develop the technology, added, "These sensors give real-time information from the plant. It is almost like having the plant talk to us about the environment they are in." In the case of precision agriculture, having such information can directly affect yield and margins.